bass, my main there's a handful around here, but my main bass that I tour with is a April 1996, which happens to be my birth month and birth year. Fender Mexican P bass. So nothing flashy at all. It's been modified a bit over the years. There's these pickups in it called Flying Mojo, and the bridge is like more weighted. I really don't know what any of that means. Somebody told me it'd be better. I have become less and less of a gearhead over the past couple of years.
I think you said that because I'm like trying to track, like, yeah, wow, this is a foreign language to me. So cool.
To listen to this and be like, oh yeah, but it's definitely not me. With ideally brand new strings on it, I want the strings to be zingy. So that goes into on my pedal board. It's just a HX Stomp, which is like a multi-effect kind of digital amp processor pedal into an Angular tone hammer. Stomp is doing most of the processing, and then the tone hammer is more just like surgical EQ, depending on the day or my string life or what the ears are like. That goes straight into the PA. Historically, I've not used an amp. Of late, there have been some amps backlined, and I've really kind of been enjoying turning that thing up. That's been pretty fun. But I've always preferred not to have one just because the bass responds a little bit more consistently across the neck without it.
On the HX Stomp, do you have a different setting for every song or just one setting the whole night?
Basically, it's one setting. Not to be this guy, but it's on a website called Sound Shop. It's the everyday preset. There's a few others in there that I use. I basically am using that. It's a pretty dirty sound, and then there's an additional drive and an octave pedal, and I'll use different combinations of that depending on the thing. My clean tone is pretty dirty though, so travel with a Moog Sub Fatty, just like a 25 key synth bass. And then I'm using All Clear Spire in ears, which I think is 6 drivers. Then the playback rig is 2 MacBook Pros. The A computer is an M2, and the B computer is Intel, I think. And then that goes into a Play Audio 12, which allows me to run redundant, which is really nice. And then the controller that I'm currently using is an Icon iControl, just like a sort of lesser known MIDI controller. But I like it because one, it's $80, so you can get a lot of them. And if it breaks, it's not a big deal. And it's got 8 faders on it, which I use a lot to control like track volumes and flow moments, and then reverb levels or a low pass filter, stuff like that. And then it also has 4 banks of 16 pads, which gives me like 64 assignable pads. So I can assign those to transport controls or different locators, just depending on what the night needs.